Are you feeling stuck, like you're putting in the work but not getting anywhere? You're not alone. Most people hit roadblocks in their journey to grow. But here's the thing. What if the reason you're not moving forward isn't because you're doing too little, but because you're unknowingly doing the wrong things? In today's video, I'm going to break down the 5 biggest mistakes holding you back from personal growth. By the end, you'll know exactly how to avoid them and finally start making the progress you deserve. Growth isn't just about adding new habits, reading more self-help books, or working harder. It's often about recognizing the small, seemingly innocent mistakes we make that quietly hold us back. And here's the kicker: most of us are making at least one of these mistakes without even realizing it. We're going to take a deep dive into these mistakes, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll not only be aware of them, but you'll have actionable steps to correct them. So, let's get started with the first one. Let's start with mistake number 1, comparing yourself to others. Now, this is a big one. Whether it's scrolling through social media or even looking at your friends, it's incredibly easy to feel like everyone else is ahead of you. You see someone's highlight reel, whether it's a new job, a new house, a perfect relationship, and you wonder, why am I not there yet? But let's pause for a moment. What you don't see is the hard work, the failures, the struggles behind their success. Everyone's journey is different, and comparison is the fastest way to drain your own happiness and motivation. Example. Think about it like this. Imagine running a race, but instead of focusing on your own path, you're constantly looking at the runners next to you. What happens? You slow down. You trip. You lose focus. That's what comparison does to your growth. It distracts you from your own journey. So instead, focus on your growth. Track your own progress, no matter how small. Maybe last year you didn't work out at all, and now you're hitting the gym twice a week. That's progress. Celebrate your wins, however small they may seem. In fact, right now, I want you to pause and think about one thing you've achieved recently, something that makes you proud. Drop it in the comments below, and let's celebrate each other's progress. Alright, mistake number 2, and this one is sneaky waiting for the perfect moment. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when, I'll wait until I have more time, or I'll go after that goal when I feel ready? I'm here to tell you, waiting for the perfect moment is one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. Because guess what? That perfect moment never comes. There's never going to be a day when everything aligns perfectly, where the stars magically say, now is your time. Example. Let's say you want to start a side business or pick up a new hobby. You keep waiting for that ideal time after work slows down, or after you've saved enough money, but time keeps slipping by. And before you know it, another year has passed, and you're still in the same place. My advice? Start now, wherever you are, with whatever you have. You don't need perfect conditions to make progress. You just need to take that first step, however small it might be. And here's a practical tip. Instead of waiting for everything to feel right, just commit to doing 5 minutes of the thing you've been putting off. Want to write a book? Write for 5 minutes a day. Want to start working out? Do a 5-minute workout. Once you start, momentum builds. And over time, you'll realize how much progress you've made just by taking small, imperfect steps. Let's talk about fear of failure. This is mistake number 3, and it's a huge one. We've all been there, afraid to try something new, because what if we fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if people see us fail? But here's something that might surprise you. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Example. Every successful person you've ever heard of has failed countless times. Look at Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, or Steve Jobs. They didn't get where they are by avoiding failure. They got there by learning from it. Each failure is a lesson, an opportunity to adjust and try again. Think about a time you failed. How did it feel? It probably wasn't fun, but I bet you learned something valuable from it. Now, imagine if you never took that risk. Where would you be? Probably in the exact same place, right? Here's the bottom line. Fear of failure holds us back far more than failure itself ever could. So, take that leap. Start that project. Apply for that job. Sure, you might fail, but you will grow from it, and that growth is what will ultimately lead to your success. Next up, mistake number 4, overloading yourself. Now, I get it. We live in a hustle culture that tells us we need to do everything all at once. But trying to juggle too many things at once is a recipe for burnout. You might think that by doing more, you're achieving more, but the opposite is often true. Example. Let's say you set 5 major goals for the year: start a business, get in shape, learn a new language, declutter your home, and read a book a week. Ambitious, right? But what happens? You spread yourself too thin. You start out strong, but eventually you get overwhelmed and end up making little progress on all fronts. Here's what you should do instead. Prioritize. Focus on 1 or 2 key goals at a time. By concentrating your efforts, you'll make real progress in those areas, instead of just spinning your wheels trying to do everything. It's about quality over quantity. Finally, mistake number 5, and this is one we often overlook: ignoring your mental health. In the rush to be more productive, we often forget that personal growth doesn't just happen by checking off boxes or hitting milestones. It comes from within. If you're constantly pushing yourself, but neglecting your mental health, your growth will be limited. Example. Think about it like this. If you're driving a car and the engine is overheating, you might keep going for a while, but eventually it's going to break down. Your mental health is like that engine. Without regular care, rest, and self-compassion, you're going to burn out. Make time for reflection, rest, and self-care. That might mean journaling, meditating, talking to a therapist, or simply taking a break when you need it. It's not about being lazy, it's about recharging so you can come back stronger. Remember, growth isn't about constantly pushing yourself. It's about sustainable progress. So there you have it, the 5 biggest mistakes that could be holding you back from personal growth. But here's the good news. Now that you're aware of them, you can start making the necessary changes. Remember, personal growth is about steady progress, not perfection. It's about learning from your mistakes and taking consistent action. Which of these mistakes resonated with you the most? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're ready for the next step in your growth journey, make sure to check out my video on how to stop caring about what others think. Because trust me, once you stop caring, the possibilities for growth are endless. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.